Hello everybody, my name is Tysen Knight. I am a street artist and a mentor to children through art. My mission in life is to inspire others, no matter the age group, but I definitely really love the impact I have on children and inspiring them to be great artists. So, and if you're not an artist, just be inspired by seeing the process of how I work and take that in any facet of life you choose to go in, so yeah. Well, I grew up in New Jersey. I was born in Florida, but I grew up in New Jersey. So my influence were going to New York with my parents from Jersey to New York to see family members and just seeing all the beautiful artwork and graffiti on the trains. Like, it fascinated me. It's funny, I just got off the phone with my dad today and he reminded me of that. He sent me a clip of the New York trains. And he said I used to look at it and just be in awe of the colors. And I used to always tell him, Dad, how did they do that? Like, how? He said, I don't know, son. And then, we laughed today. He's like, you figured it out. I said, I actually did figure it out. But, that inspired me, and my parents actually helped me cultivate my art. They saw that I was taking spray paint cans and painting around the city and where we lived at, and encouraged me to take art lessons and to really push me in that direction. So these amazing artists, these amazing street artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat and Andy Warhol and Keith Haring, and even some of Picasso's work has a essence of street art with how he distorts pictures and things of that nature. So I was just fascinated by their artwork, and it just compelled me to strike out on my own and see if I can, duplicate that in some way and add my own twist and just kind of add on to their legacy. If that's something, I'll be blessed enough to do in my lifetime, in my career as an artist. So, yeah. I have my own style, and I call it pop urban art with a twist of fine art. So I'm going back to my parents put me in some private lessons. I used to go to this lady's house, and she would teach me like fine art, to paint like milk cans and raccoons and like all these like landscapes. My parents have all these paintings. They still have them. Actually, they hung them up on the wall recently, right? So I got trained in fine art, but my passion was street art. So I think it gave me an advantage as an artist to be able to mix these two type of styles and come up with my own style called pop urban art. And I'm just blessed that I had the opportunity to, cross genres and come up with my style. So it's very colorful, from me seeing these beautiful graffiti on the trains, that training with the fine art, and also just my own little eclectic style to mash it all together. So, yeah. A lot of my influence in my art are Jean-Michel Basquiat, Andy Warhol, and Keith Haring, and also Roy Lichtenstein and obviously Pablo Picasso. So these paintings I have here are called masterpiece mashups, right? So I took a lot of their inspiration. I'm inspired by these particular artists, and took their paintings and created one painting with three different artists' styles, right? So if we look at this first top part, this is a remixed piece of Jean-Michel Basquiat. The middle is the Andy Warhol flowers, the famous Andy Warhol flowers. And then on the bottom, we have the beautiful work of Keith Haring here at the bottom. So adding all three of these together and then putting my twist on it and trying to keep the momentum of the legacy of these artists, who inspired me. So I thought it was, I wanted to pay homage to these amazing, incredible artists who is no longer with us. So that's that. And I think it came out pretty well. The colors I tried to use every color I can get my hands on. I'll be honest with you for that. As far as this one here, this is also a masterpiece mashup, but only two artists. Like I was telling you earlier, this is Roy Lichtenstein and Pablo Picasso. Now, this one was a little bit more difficult because their styles are so different that I had to actually sketch it out and make it all gel together as one actual mashup masterpiece painting. So I was able to get Roy Lichtenstein's Gentleman in there in the car, and then what I was able to do was put one of Picasso's, he was really famous for drawing women in these beautiful distorted ways that he saw it, and I thought that would be clever to add one of Picasso's renditions of a woman and then add Roy Lichtenstein's comic book man into the one painting. So I thought it was really unique, and I'm really excited about this painting. These 5 artists are very influential to me and to society as a whole in the art world. So I just want to pay homage to them and make these beautiful pieces. Yeah. I was part of the American Documentary Film Festival, which is here in Palm Springs. They showed my first film, Art of the Hustle. And Teddy, really good guy. He knew Louisa Higgins. And she was starting this program back in 2018. It was called BAM, Boys Art Mentoring. And Teddy was telling her, you have to meet Tysen. You have to meet Tysen. You have to meet Tysen. And so she emailed me like, Teddy said, I have to meet you and sit down with you. I said, okay. So we sat down and met, and she told me the concept. She's like, I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but I have this concept. I think you'd be a great mentor we can use, and with the Palm Springs Unified School District. So a couple months later, she got back in contact with me, and we put the program together, and that was the start of my art mentoring. Before that, I didn't know how my art would help mentor children, but thank God for Teddy and Louisa that they were able to help me cultivate that and get it out to the forefront and give the art a purpose to help children. So I love working with children. I try to, when I work with children, I try to approach them not more so as an artist, just more so as like a relatable human being, right? Someone that could say, hey, you know what? If you're having some issues, I was there before. I had times in my life where I wasn't too sure who I was or where I was going. All you really need is someone to invest in you and build confidence in you that you're going in the right direction. So I try to I come to kids, I convey just being a decent, relatable human being. And then once we establish that rapport, then we get into the art. The art is kind of like secondary to actually getting children to be confident in themselves. Because most children obviously are not going to go on to be artists. So, but you still can take these life lessons you're learning in your life and use it for whatever field or whatever you get into in your life. So that's my main objective. The art is secondary, but the art, thank God the art is there. So I have something else after we build this rapport with each other, right? So yeah, that's amazing to have children acknowledge me, and when they see me come to the school, I'm like, Tysen, Mr. Knight, that's really cool. That means that what I'm doing is having an impact. So that's the beauty of that, outside of the art. But the art is like secondary, and it just pulls it all together for me. So it's found its purpose. Yeah. Peace and love.